Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking on the 4 Zeros challenge. Now this requires a little bit of explanation. This challenge centers around the end screen scorecard that every player has, reflecting how many enemies they killed, how many minerals they mined, how many players they revived, and how many times they were downed. The goal of this challenge is to have a 0 in every category. Obviously, this isn't possible on every mission type when playing solo, like Morkite mining, as there's absolutely no way that you can pick up and deposit Morkite without getting the 200 Morkite required for even the shortest mission. However, other mission types are possible, like salvage, elimination, point extraction, and egg hunts. So today I'm going to take on an elimination mission in this challenge. Before we get into the build, a couple important pieces of clarifying information is only the final hit on an enemy counts as a kill. So if Bosco gets the last hit, it won't count as a kill for you. Additionally, minerals mine counts when the mineral is picked up. This means that if there's any loose minerals on the ground and you happen to walk over them, you'll pick up a mineral and fail the challenge instantly. And to a lesser degree, you also have to avoid going down. But that's a less of a threat than hitting a stray swarmer with a bullet or accidentally walking over one piece of nitra. Before we get started, I just want to say a shout out to Goomba Kong and Flip for the win. Goomba Kong is the person who I originally saw attempting this challenge that made me want to give it a try. And Flip for the win is, as far as I can tell, the person who originally came up with it based on this Reddit thread from a few years ago. You can find links to their channels and profiles down below. Without further ado, let's go over the build and get started. So let's go over the build in a little bit more detail than normal, as this is a little bit more complicated as we're not going to be directly fighting any enemies. So on Hipster, we're taking a pretty normal damage build. However, we're not bothering with Killing Machine like I often do, just because we can't kill an enemy with this weapon, so we'll just take Stun if we can possibly take advantage of that. With Embedded Detonators, we're taking magazine size instead of rate of fire, just so we can stack detonators and make the dread phases take less time, and then other than that, pretty normal. Changing up the perks a little bit, not going to be running It's a Bug thing, obviously, because if a loot bug does happen to die, then I'm going to have to dodge the minerals laying on the floor. Sweet Tooth, because we're not going to have any resupplies for the duration of the mission, and we need to stretch that sugar as far as we can. And Born Ready, just so we can get a little bit more detonator stacks on every dread. We have Berserker, just to squeeze out some more damage when we inevitably run out of ammo, and of course I need to change off of Iron Will, because if I go down, the challenge will be void anyways. So we'll take Beastmaster, just so we have a little bit more killing power on our side. We're going to be running a very different Bosco spec, as he's not going to be doing any mining or reviving, so we're going to be taking damage, rockets in the second tier, because we have no choice. Since we're going to be playing Scout, we don't need the light, and we're not going down, we don't need the revive, so we'll take the extra rocket. We're taking cryo rockets just to boost Bosco's potential DPS, and overcharged rounds as always, just to get a little bit more damage and slow any large targets. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty unique challenge in that I'm more or less here just to support Bosco and him killing these 2 Dreadnoughts. But I can still do pretty good damage up until the last moments of the fight where I have to let Bosco get the killing blow, but the main concerns really are just like the ambient minerals and ambient bugs that I can't kill. Obviously I can't get downed and I can't mine any nitro for a resupply, but at the end of the day what's really screwing me more here is the natural minerals and natural bugs. Alright, Twins is a good start. Bosco can always have full damage on them. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a Steve now. So it'll probably be off cooldown by the time we need him if we get a Hive Guard. Letting Bosco clean up all the various enemies before I actually start firing at anything. I don't want to accidentally kill a bug. If Steve can just help clear out the ambient wave, that'll be enough to make him worth it. So until we get to the second phase, the Arbalest isn't that much of a threat, as he can only shoot his mortar attack. It's only in the second phase that he develops the fireball shotgun. So for now I can just get all up in his business, no issue. Okay, that should be our first heal. Yep. And We want to make sure we have easy access to the next dread, because having a dread alive will suppress the passive wave spawns. So we want to spawn the second dread before we actually kill the first one. Does appear to be a lot of terrain to traverse before we get there though, which is going to be an issue. Just trying to figure out what the best way to get to it is going to be. This room is going to be really nasty for fighting one of the other dreads, as there's a lot of minerals for them to dislocate. Okay, never mind. That's an easy sightline for me. Now we have to be a lot more wary of getting close to the Arbalest, as he can shoot the fireball shotgun. So using debts against him is going to be much harder in this phase. Right now he's probably going to start shooting that at me. Yep. So at this point we basically want to focus all of our embedded detonators on Lacerator and all of the M1K on Arbalest, since we can't get as close to him. That still hit me. One more good mag on Arbalest, or on Lacerator, and he'll be close to death. Okay. A whole lot of ambient spawns yeah, like ambient cave spawns found their way in here, unfortunately. Okay. No more shots on Arbalest now. He's too close to death. Okay. Bosco finished off the Lacerator. Now I just need to be careful of the Enrage. Now let's distract Bosco for a second while we go get the other Dread. That grabber is still out there. Alright, normal Dreadnought, that's good. Much easier to deal with than the Hive Guard in this style of play. Trying to get some of the damage onto these bugs. He is becoming far too much of an issue to be left alive. Alright. Now ideally we're going to be able to keep one of these grunts alive long enough for our Steve cooldown to come off. And we'll be able to grab one of them to help with the next dread. Alright, that grabber is going to get in here now because the dread opened it up. Bosco finished off that last grunt, unfortunately. It's alright though, normal Dreadnought isn't too much of an issue without a Steve. I might just have to let this grab me here. So it's very low on health. Okay, that's that problem solved. Okay, I didn't want to take a Steve this early into the fight. Mainly because something like that would happen. But it's better than nothing. Bosco, get back in the fight. Kill that. A lot of little distractions before we can get this started here. It's very upsetting. Alright, I want to keep him over in this general area though, because there's less minerals for him to potentially shoot. Steve is going to block some of my shots, more than likely, but it's just something we're going to have to deal with. That random grunt is going to be a problem. Swarmer bomb just went off, so no more shooting for me. Maybe I can sneak one in right here. There we go, not bad. Not too much risk. That's the end of Steve. This is right here is the best possible position you can get. Is it Bosco just chasing the Dread while he's walking towards you? That's how we're gonna have it set up whenever we do get the killing blow. Which is the reason that Hive Guard is so difficult, is because he's immobile and Bosco tends to fly all around him and not be able to hit the crit because of that. That's the end of Steve. We got some loot bugs coming into the room, which isn't good. They're gonna potentially get killed and drop their minerals. Okay, now we need to be careful not to do too much damage here. Finesse him down just a little bit. It's not a good spot for him to be in. Okay, Bosco, get behind him. Now if Bosco could shoot a gun, okay. Alright, now we just need to very carefully traverse the cave on our way to the drop pod to make sure we don't accidentally pick up any minerals. So I'm just going to stay in this room until Molly gets to the drop pod. So that the doors are open and we can fling straight in. We don't have any issues with that. Alright, looks like it's just right inside that room. That is not a great spot for the door to be, but I think we can sneak in. So I'm just going to stay right here until Molly's about to dock. So this is the culprit right here, is this piece of sugar on the ground has lured these loot bugs in here. Very unfortunate. Alright, that's the dock. And we will be on our way. Oh, that's not nearly as bad as it looked. Okay, now the moment of truth. Hey, that swarmer doesn't count. That's not a kill. Imagine if the kill counter ticked up because of that. Alright. Damn, that was a lot more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. I think that was the 15th attempt. I lost count. I stopped counting after like 8 due to frustration, but yeah, that was not easy. Not easy at all. And that about does it for today's video. If you enjoyed this challenge, make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see some more Deep Rock Galactic content, make sure to ring the bell, because apparently that's the only way to get notifications these days. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream over on Twitch. If you'd like to talk to me or my community members about how Scout has to get the most kills or else you're bad at the game, you can find us over on Discord. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.